Welcome one and all to the Q&A, and in this video I'm going to be answering all the questions that were put forth to me by you guys down in the comments. Now fear not, this isn't going to be the last one. There'll be another Q&A in the future. I'm probably going to do a final live stream tomorrow before Season 3 goes live, so that'll be a chance for us to sort of like the pre-Season 3 show where we can warm up, we can talk about it, final predictions, final thoughts. And then I'm going to go and binge the whole thing. So, anyway, I hope you guys enjoy this. This video isn't at all for me. This is for you guys. This is just sort of to give you guys a more personable kind of representation of the bond between, subscriber and channel. And this is just me kind of being a bit more personal with you guys, so that way you can feel a bit more included within the channel. And yeah, I hope I answer all your questions correctly and thoroughly. And if not, then hassle me down in the comments or hit that notification bell and get ready for the next live stream. Yes, get ready for the next live stream. I'll do one tomorrow. I normally do them on Sundays, but I'll do a Chosen Live 2.5. Boom. Just as a little disclaimer, if I butcher your name, comment down below and I will make sure to reprimand myself in the next video. Daryl Hall says, who is your least favourite character? My less favourite, I feel like, well, this is the thing, is I like all the characters equally. I feel like this is just one of the hallmark things about this show, is the level of depth that each character has. Even the ones you may not necessarily like more than others, each character has a degree of story and detail and attention where you root for them in a sense. But if I had to pick one, I'm gonna say, I'm going to follow on from what I said in a stream, right? I'm going to include Cobra Kai characters and Karate Kid characters for this one, and that is Freddy. This guy, right, this arsehole, right, befriended Daniel in the original movie. Daniel gets his ass kicked, and then this guy just pisses off somewhere, and then all of a sudden he shows up at the tournament cheering Daniel on like nothing happened. Like, what? So there you go. There's my least favourite character right there. We can throw Freddy in the mix of that. Alex Z says, top 5 characters from Cobra Kai. Now, whenever anyone asks me my ranking, it always fluctuates, but at this moment in time, at this precise moment, now, I'm going to cheat a little bit. For this video, and this question, I'm going to exclude Daniel, Johnny, and Kreese, because them three, they are legend, like, they're the iconic characters, they're the legends. But going just off of the new characters, I'm going to say Miguel, number 1. And the reason is because Miguel is just a brand new character. He's not related to anyone we know before. He's just thrust into this universe, this wide open universe. And, he is us in the story. He's just a brand new guy thrust into this world. And he can sort of, we can live vicariously through him because he's discovering it all for the first time. And then we're remembering it for the second time because we've been here before. It's like, we've been here before, but we're seeing it again. But we've not seen this story. That kind of thing. So Miguel, number 1. Number 2 is Robbie. I know I may get stick for this, but Robbie is my guy. Like, from the minute he's introduced, there's something about Robbie. There's something about this, like, punk, bad boy 90s kid that just transforms his life around for the better. And the extremes of it is that this is why Miguel and Robbie are always neck and neck for me. For me, Miguel is, determined to be the best. But he's naturally more Miyagi-Do, but Cobra Kai brings that out of him. Whereas Robbie is naturally more Cobra Kai, but he joins Miyagi-Do. Like, it's just an interesting parallel, and especially when you take into account Johnny and Daniel and the whole thing, it's really great, and I cannot wait to see what Robbie does in Season 3. I've already got an idea in mind for Robbie being a double agent, so keep your eyes out for that. But number 1, Miguel, Robbie number 2. Number 3, without a doubt, Dimitri. This guy in Season 1, making smart jokes and comments, I actually thought he was pretty funny. He's quite relatable in many ways. But I feel like Season 3 is gonna, like, Season 2's ending set him up for something big. And I feel like we're going to see what it is. Number 4 is Amanda. And that is Sam's wife. Not Sam's wife. Sam's mother. Daniel's wife. And this is why I excluded Daniel, Johnny, and Kreese, because they're just going to take 3 spots up by themselves anyway. But Amanda is just, you know, she's a day one wife. She's literally Daniel's better half, and she has this way about her, you know. What I really love is when Daniel and Johnny are comparing dojo sizes, she's like, oh, so this is happening. Like, she kind of breaks the fourth wall, like, really, guys? You're kids then, come on, you're still having this discussion. And to see her smack Kreese into the next century in the trailer, I cannot wait to see what leads up to that. And she's just, you know, she's just wifey material. Number 5, Sam. I say that with deep, you know, no. Oh, no, because you see, the problem is, and this is what I mean about it fluctuating, is number 1 has got to be Miguel. Number 2 has got to be Robbie. Number 3... Who did I say number 3 was? It was Dimitri. Number 4 was Amanda. Number 5... You know, I'm going to have to give it to Hawk. So, I'm sorry, Sam, but Hawk, developing from Eli to who he is now, the complete turnaround that this character has been on, he could go in any direction. He could have a redemption. He could not have a redemption. He could go full dark side. Like, that's the beauty of Hawk's character. And I'll never forget that intro of where it opens up with him and his mum arguing about, no, don't have them make an announcement. And he runs into his room, he's crying on the bed. And then it cuts right to him getting a hawk, like, you know, the red on his hawk tattoo. And it's just so interesting seeing where he started to where he is now. But I'd say Sam is probably at 6, tied with Tori. So I'm going to cheat. Sam and Tori at 6, cheating a little bit. But Hawk is definitely I'd say Hawk is, yeah, Hawk's number 5. There's something about Amanda, I think she's just, you know, she's a day one. But again, it's just depending on what mood I'm in. Like, some days more than others, I'll say Hawk over most of the characters. And that's what's great about this show. That's what's really great. Hui says, top 10 best fighters. Now, I could spend all day breaking down each reason as to why these guys are my top 10. But I'm going to just give you my top 10. And this is in no particular order, okay? So the order I say it is not reflective of who is the best at all. But number 1, Mr. Miyagi. This guy is Yoda. This guy is Dumbledore. This guy is the dude, you know? So Mr. Miyagi, Daniel, Johnny, Chosen, Mike Barnes, Kreese, Silver, Julie, and... oh, I think that's all the legacy characters. Did I say Johnny? Let me start that again. Right, okay. Let me get my little pen and pad just so I can follow this through. Alright, so number 1, I'm going with Miyagi. Because, again, he's Yoda. Number 2, Johnny. Number 3, Daniel. Number 4, Chosen. Number 5, Silver. Number 6, Kreese. Number 7, Barnes. Number 8, Julie. And that leaves... yeah, so that's Miyagi, Johnny, Daniel, Chosen, Silver, Kreese, Barnes, Julie. That's 8. And those are the legacy characters. But I'm gonna say... number 9, Miguel. And I'm gonna say number 10, Robbie. And the reason I've left out Sam and Tori is... Sam is naturally gifted with the LaRusso blood, and she's been trained from a young age. But I feel like Robbie has more of a determination, especially with him being inside Juvie. He's going to be absolutely ruthless. Now, I know some of you will be surprised as to why I didn't have Hawk to that list. And the reason I didn't add Hawk is, yes, he's a good fighter, but at this point in time, he doesn't hold a candle to Miguel or Robbie. At this point in time, Season 2 Hawk had 5 guys with him, right? Or 4 guys, and he got absolutely beaten the crap out of. So, ultimately, that's why he doesn't make the cut. But after Season 3, could very well change. But if I'm picking my top 10 fighters across the whole universe, I'm going to read it out one more time. Miyagi number 1, Johnny number 2, Daniel number 3, Chosen number 4, Silver 5, Kreese 6, Barnes 7, Julie 8, Miguel 9, Robbie 10. Top 5 heated rivalries. So that'll be across the whole thing. Daniel and Johnny, number 1. It started it all. It's the reason that we have everything. It's the reason we have the movies. Number 2, Chosen and Daniel, a classic that is going to feed straight into season 3. Miguel and Robbie, just the juxtaposition between the two characters across the 2 seasons, and their rivalry is not one of blood sport. It's their rivalry if they want what the other has. Number 4, Sam and Tori. I feel like this rivalry is going to be intense and it's going to heat up. Now, for number 5, I was considering Hawk Dimitri, but unfortunately, we're only just really getting into that. So I'm going to say Kreese and Miyagi instead, because the foundation of what Kreese's failure was in the original trilogy is Miyagi. You know, how your Knuckles do in their Kreese, and then the callback to him smashing the windows in after Miyagi basically embarrasses him in front of his students. So I'm going to say that. So Daniel and Johnny, number 1. Chosen and Daniel, number 2. Miguel and Robbie, number 3. Tori and Sam, number 4. And Miyagi and Kreese, number 5. Who is your favourite character and why? Oh, without a doubt, it's Cobra Kai Johnny. Like, I love Daniel. I think he's cool. But Cobra Kai Johnny is just one of the best characters that's created in years. Like, it's... The character was already there, but taking a character that you thought was one-dimensional and just taking him and flipping the script, wink wink, flipping the script and making him just this all-round, complex, nuanced, well-written character that is badass like Cobra Kai, and Cobra Kai has always been badass, but he's willing to learn, he's willing to evolve, and I feel like we're just getting to see the makings of a great friendship between him and Daniel, and a nice little bromance, little buddy cop thing. But I feel like Johnny is just, he's just my favourite character. You know, one of the biggest reasons to watch the show or the movies. And, yeah. Like, I mean, there's so many great characters, but Johnny he's the number 1. Who is my favourite villain? That is, without a doubt, Silver. Like, I know you would expect me to say Kreese, but Kreese had his ass handed to him a couple of times. Terry Silver is absolute... There's something about this guy. I think he's worse than Kreese. This guy is maniacal. He's unhinged. He's off the chain. Like, he's absolutely nuts. You know, I mean, remembering Karate Kid 3 when he's like, I like that, Johnny. I like that. Like, in that weird laugh. He literally sounds like a mixture of Mr. Burns, the Emperor, and Kreese in one. He's absolutely berserk. So, I think he would be perfect to introduce in Cobra Kai Season 3, right at the end. Right, bang on right at the end. So, he is my favourite villain, and I really hope he returns. I really do. Javlongo Black says, what characters do I think will die? This is very interesting, because we know that the creators said it's possible that there could be some deaths this season. If I was a betting man, I think the obvious answer would be Robbie, because he's in the most dangerous predicament. However, I feel like we're expecting that. If I'm going to go out on a limb, I'm going to say the people most likely. Daniel's mother. You know, the OG mother from the first Karate Kid. Johnny's stepfather, Sid. And... yeah, those are the two that I think are most likely. I think Johnny's stepfather, Sid, and Daniel's mother. I think those two are the most likely to bite the bullet. I mean, I hope I'm wrong. I don't want any of the characters to die, but again, it can really serve the story the same way Tommy's death did. And yeah, but those are the two characters I'd put my money on. Do I feel like the tournament will be this season or reserved for season 4? The thing is with this is we've seen, there's a little clip of Miguel fighting in a tournament setting or whatever, but it looks like not the All Valley. It looks like a kind of dream or something. And I feel like, personally, I feel like they should save it for season 4. If they don't, then okay. But the problem is, for me, is that there is so much to get through this season because of the fallout from last season, right? The major fallout. I feel it would be better to save the All Valley for season 4. And then season 4 is literally about building up to the All Valley. Like, we know it's coming. It's about building up the armies, getting ready for the fight. And I don't mind if it's in season 3, but I feel like it should be season 4. So it's one of them things where I'm going to juke around the question a little bit and tell you what I would prefer they do. I would prefer them to save the All Valley for season 4, just because, again, it feels like they have so much to get through. They have so much to do. I don't see how they can squeeze it in. I mean, if they can, then great. But, you know, and I would really like to see it. I mean, it's the All Valley, but I feel like it should be safe for Season 4. But if it's in Season 3, then, you know, it is what it is. I'll enjoy it nonetheless. Do I think Hawk will have a redemption arc? As I said earlier, Hawk is in a prime state right now where his character could go in any direction. And I feel like it would be too predictable to give him a redemption arc. You know, I feel like, as I've said before, Robbie is definitely in line for a redemption arc after what he did. And the reason I can quantify that is because in Season 2, Amanda LaRusso says to Robbie, hey, we all make mistakes. It's what we do next, right, that counts. That's exactly what applies to Robbie. He almost killed Miguel. He needs to make up for that. And he's got to fight for his bloody life inside Juvie, for one. So, in the context of Hawk, I really don't know. I don't mind if they redeem him, but I feel like you lose a bit of that tragedy where if you have him redeemed, it's cool. But in some ways, there's a part of me that doesn't want him to be redeemed, because if you redeem him, who does Kreese have? Like, Kyler will be good. Kyler will be a good Cobra Kai competitor. With a bit of training, we've seen how Kyler can fight. With a bit of training, Kyler could be a star pupil. But I feel like you need Hawk in Cobra Kai because he represents the failures of what Cobra Kai has become. And he could be a really tragic character. So, do I think he'll have a redemption arc? Probably not. But I wouldn't be surprised if he did. There's a lot of these characters that have a moral grey centre. And Eli is still in there. Eli is still in there somewhere. Do I think they'll redeem him? Probably not. Do I think Robbie will be the bad guy? Well, again, this is something... let me take a quick sip of water. This is something that has been heavily alluded to this season, is will Robbie go down the dark side? And I wouldn't be surprised. With the situation he's in right now, I honest to God would not be surprised. And with Kreese visiting him in Juvie, what if while Johnny is occupied getting Miguel back to full recovery, and Daniel's busy with Sam and trying to keep her safe, what if the attention goes away from Robbie, and they actually forget about Robbie, and while they're away, Kreese is showing up and showing him more care than they ever did. And not because he actually cares, because he's a perfect tool for him to manipulate. And I do hope that if Robbie is presented with what I call the Daniel Karate Kid 3 arc, where Daniel joins Cobra Kai and all of that, and he learns the route, what if Robbie goes down that road of training with Kreese in secret, but eventually comes to a choice where he can choose the better path. He can remember what Daniel said about how his story, you know, how he was. It turned him into an angry, violent kid. You know, he punched that guy in the nightclub right in his face, damn near breaking his nose. Robbie could remember that story, and then ultimately, when the moment is presented to him, make the right choice. So, do I think Robbie will be a bad guy? Yeah, maybe. It's possible. But I think in the end, Robbie will make the right choice. And it would be such a complete waste of Robbie's character to have gone on such a journey through Season 1 and 2 to do a complete 180 and just throw everything out the window. So, regardless of what happens with Robbie, eventually he'll choose the right path. Stuart, my broski, says, which characters would I like to see return from the Karate Kid films? This ties into what I was saying earlier. Like, I'd be happy for anyone, but it feels like now we've got Chosen and Kumiko back, it feels like anyone's possible. So, what I would like is Terry Silver. Again, as I said it before, this guy would be perfect, especially now, because Kreese has Cobra Kai. Kreese is one man. If Johnny and Daniel work together, he has the numbers against him. You know what I mean? He has the numbers against him in the sense that Miguel will go with Johnny, Robbie will most likely go with Johnny and Daniel. You know, the numbers are in their favor. So, he needs a bit of backup. What better person to back him up? Terry Silver. I think it would be perfect. You end Season 3 with Terry Silver. Bang. Boom. Season 4 anticipation. You heard it here first. Do I have any quality concerns because it's on a higher streaming platform now, such as Netflix? I touched on this a few videos ago. I think what's going to happen is eventually down the line, there'll be a season where it's not as good. And that's not the writer's fault. That's just, you know, the more you continue it, the more likely you are to do it. And again, this isn't me speaking it out into the ether. It's just that it's happened with so many things, you know, like franchises like Star Wars or TV shows like Game of Thrones. You know, I heard that show was absolutely legit for 7 seasons. And then the 8th season just did a complete 180, and then the fans were pissed off because it was completely against the grain of what everything that was set up before. So, and you know, we've seen it with Arrow season 3 and 4. So it could take 3 seasons, it could take 8 seasons. Eventually, you know, you can undo these things. George Lucas even said it himself when he was doing the prequels. It is possible to undo these things, and you know, I hope I'm wrong, but I do feel like there is a part of the story that could suffer down the line. But again, the writers have given me no reason not to trust them so far, and I'm really enjoying the show. And so far, they seem like they touted it going all the way to season 6. So that tells me they have a roadmap, which is something that a franchise that we love didn't for the latest trilogy. So they have a roadmap. They kind of probably know where they're going, and that is going to work in their favour. So I'm excited to see where they go with that, and, you know, long may it continue. Clara asks, do I think Miguel will walk? Not straight away, but I do feel towards the latter half of Season 3, Miguel will walk. Not fully, but he'll start to walk. And as I've said before, Miguel will walk at the most crucial point. There'll be a point where someone needs to save the day. You know, I need a hero. It's going to be that. And Miguel is just basically going to Ben Solo the whole thing and just go in there and tear stuff up and save the day. I feel like Miguel will get a great moment right at the end of the season. And it'll be like, that's why I titled the video for Miguel I did called Miguel Rises. Because it's going to be the Dark Knight Rises for him. It's going to be him literally getting out of that wheelchair. The score's going to build to a big crescendo. And he's just going to dropkick someone through a window or something. So Miguel will walk. Just not right away, and I'm looking forward to the bond between Johnny and Miguel, and Johnny being there by his side and coaching him through it. That's going to be interesting. That's going to be fun. Thanks for the question, Clara. KOTS. Probably butchered that, buddy, but let me know if it didn't. We'll call you King. Will Johnny and Daniel visit Robbie in juvie? There was a video I covered this that there is a supposed, you know, in the picture we see Robbie at the juvenile detention center. And Daniel and Johnny are with him. Now, whether they're visiting him there, or they're dropping him off, or they're turning him in, or whatever the case may be, they visit him. So, I think it is against Johnny and Daniel's character to just all of a sudden ignore Robbie. And I really hope they don't go that route, because Robbie is Johnny's blood, and Robbie is like a son to Daniel. There is a mutual love there. And I feel like they're not just going to abandon him. So I feel like, yes, they will visit him in juvie. And if they don't, then it's going to be completely shocking. Because right now, Robbie needs them more than ever. Like, I know Miguel needs Johnny because he was almost paralyzed. But right now, Robbie, in the heat of a moment accident, is literally, you know, from the look of the trailer alone, he's going to be fighting inside, trying to stay alive. You know, and I wouldn't be surprised if those 2 gang members that he had problems with in season 1 and 2 play a role in what happens to him in juvie. So keep an eye out for that. But I do think they'll visit him, and I don't think they'll just abandon him. I really don't, you know. And maybe they'll use him as a double agent against Kreese. Maybe they know Kreese will probably try and usurp him, and then, you know, tell him basically infiltrate Cobra Kai and beat them from the inside kind of thing. Like an inside agent. And that brings me to the end. I want to thank every single person who submitted a question and I provided an answer. This is the first time I've done it, so it may feel a little janky or, you know, a bit, you know, unusual. But I would love to do this again down the line. This has been awesome. This is just for you guys. This is for you guys to take center stage and for you guys to ask me questions, and then I can just sort of answer them for you and then put them in video form. And there's a good cyber sharing experience when you see your own comment in a video. You know, it feels nice for you guys, I'm sure. But thank you guys for commenting. Hopefully I answered your questions well. And if not, then, you know, as I say, the conversation starts here but carries on down there. We can continue it in the comments. Or you can catch me this Sunday in a live stream for Chosen Live number 3, where we'll be talking about... Isn't that weird? Chosen Live number 3 is going to be after Season 3 airs. That's just weird. It matches up perfectly. But yeah, make sure you get the notification bell on so that way you can, you know, be notified as soon as the live stream goes live. And thanks again to every single person who submitted. So we got Dara Hall, Alex Z, Hui, Javlongo Black, Stuart, Clara, and KOTS. And I'll just call you King. But thank you guys. I will see you all in another video soon. And yeah, defeat does not exist in this dojo. Does it?